welcome to another edition of LPD News. I'm your host, Nasser Omar. In this edition of LPD News, we will be talking about the whole brain leadership process. Herman's whole brain model describes the quadrants of the brain and the skill sets involved with those quadrants. On the left side of the brain, you have your where your problem solving skills are stored, while on the right side of your brain is where your value-based process takes place. Our correspondent, Lewis, will be talking to students in the AUC today and allowing them to take a survey to determine which side of the brain that they use most often. After this survey is completed, Lewis will be interviewing these students to see what did they initially think that they use the most, what side of the brain that they use the most, what did the results tell them, and now, based on all the results, how would they be leaders moving forward. So let's send it over to our correspondent, Lewis, who is with our students now.
Thanks so much, Nasser. Here we have a few Morehouse students who we actually had taking our left brain, right brain test. What this is here is it's actually going to gauge the capabilities of our students with a 20-question survey. And at the end of it, we're going to tally up all their points and see exactly what part of their brain it is that they think with. By getting this information, we can see how they would act in a leadership situation. And from that point forward, we should be able to see what these gentlemen would do in any situation that we'd be faced with. Everything coming along well, gentlemen? Nothing too rigorous, I hope? Really appreciate your input. It's much, much, much appreciated. So now that we have our test finished, it's time to check out our results. After filling out these 21 questions, and adding up the points that are given from each of them, we can figure out which side of the brain these people use most frequently. Now if we look here, after adding up our points, we've only got a mere amount of 7 points, which leads us to believe that this gentleman here is mainly a moderate left brain thinker. That means that he's a bit more analytical. That means that when it comes down to trying to figure out things, he likes to take the rational approach, and that means that he tries to go through all the rational steps to get from point A to point B without too much creativity in the middle. That's a great way for some people to think, and not so great for others, but it's all up to you to figure out what works best for you. Now if we check out over here, we'll see that my man here has 9 points. Now 9 points on the scale of everything that we've tested leads him to be a middle brain thinker. That means that in his capacity, he uses everything from his right side and everything from his left side in order to come to a rational decision here in the middle. Now, if we look at both of these things, some would say, well, why would it be better to be a middle brain, or why would it be better to be a left brain? And what it boils down to is what works best for you. So we really appreciate your time, gentlemen. We just want to ask you now, with all this information at hand, what did you think beforehand going into this test about your brain? I know you said you knew about the left brain and the right brain. What exactly did you think you were going into this test?
I thought actually I was probably going to be a left brain type person.
So that kind of suited what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah.
And yourself?
I thought I was going to also be somewhat on the left side as well.
So you're a little surprised to see that you're a middle brain?
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Okay, now going into the future, knowing that maybe this is a tendency that you can kind of be accustomed to, is there anything you think you might approach your work or anything like that any differently with this new information?
Yeah, I'll just continue to just be more creative with the way I plan about trying to learn different concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do that.
And what about yourself? You think you're just going to stick to what you've been doing? You think you might want to make any adjustments? Or you appreciate your left-brainedness?
Left-brainedness. I agree. I think I'll just stay the same, being a chemistry major. Gotta be real analytical thinking.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. We really appreciate your time, and I'm glad we could help you guys out. I really appreciate that you could help us out as well.
Yeah, man, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Lewis White, and this has been LPD News. You stay classy, LPD.